Tonight, I'm pretty sure the Winnipeg Blue Bombers went into this game in Montreal pissed off because that's the way they played. Doubling up the Alouettes 26-13, another win for Winnipeg to improve to 6-4 on the season. And they did it on the backs of their big players, Zach Collaros, Brady Oliveira, Willie Jefferson, Chris Streveler in a different role. Some opportunities tonight. Welcome inside GameDay After Dark, your live Blue Bombers postgame show here on Bonfire Sports. What's going on, everybody? My name is Darrin Bauming. Pleased to welcome in our good friend in the postgame, Zach Schnitzer. Schnitzy, watching this game in the early going, it was kind of back and forth, chipping away at each other. Not a lot of huge momentum captured by either club. But in the end, Winnipeg's offense looked very, very good. And defensively, it seemed like they tightened things up as the game went on. Strong win overall, Wouldn't you agree?
Finally. That's what I want to say, Darrin.
Finally.
We see the team that resembles the last 5 years, buddy. Finally. You know, it was close in the first half. And then the defense locked it down. No more explosion plays. Willie Jefferson knocks some balls down. And it's Brady Ran Bombers bully ball, Darrin.
Mm-hmm.
With maybe the season-defining drive of the year so far, Darrin. A 10-play, 81-yard drive capped off by a Brady Oliveira 3-yard touchdown. He had 42 of those yards, 5 of the 10 touches, offensive plays in that drive to put it up 23-13 in a very close game. I don't care if it's a backup quarterback. I thought Morgan played well, by the way, Darrin. But that was bully ball. That was Brady. We'll get to his stats in a minute. But that was potentially a season-defining game where this team was 5-4. They've been beaten by the Calgary Stampeders 3 times. They've been playing inconsistent. They hadn't won consecutive games since June. They finally win a consecutive couple of games here in late August, and they get it done, Darrin, off the backs of Zach Collaros in the first half and Brady Oliveira in the second half. Congratulations to the Big Blue. I'm wearing my chain. Very happy tonight. This is a real deal, team. This is a real deal.
Taking a look at the Blue Bombers' offensive numbers, Zach Collaros, incredibly efficient. Winnipeg won the turnover battle tonight 3-0. And yeah, that last one was garbage time, an interception by Trey Vavel at the goal line. But Collaros, efficient. He had over 200 yards passing in the first half, finished with 263, 87%. What was it at one point, Schnitzy? 12 straight completions?
Actually, I think it got up to 13.
There you go.
It got up to 13, and then Corcoran dropped a 3-yard pass or something.
And then a long of 32. So Collaros didn't throw the ball too deep downfield. They took what Noel Thorpe's defense gave them. But here's the story of the game, and no doubt a leading candidate for WALBY'S Warrior. Great to see everybody in the live chat. Would love to hear your WALBY'S Warrior tonight. And keep in mind in the live chat, we would love your bonfire burning point tonight. I might even have a prize to give away to some people in the live chat if you impress us with your bonfire burning point tonight. Oliveira averaged 8.6 yards per carry, 137 on the ground on 16 carries. He also had a team high 73 yards receiving, caught all 9 of the passes thrown his way, 3 second down conversions in the receiving game. And it was the guys that really stepped up. It's almost like we're burying the lead, Schnitzy, and not talking about the injuries to Nick Demski and to Jareth Stearns, 2 of their, like especially with Dalton Schoen out, 2 very important players in the slot positions on offense, both injured in the second quarter. both announced to not return to the game into the second half. And there was Chris Streveler lining up at wide receiver, and they bring in Kevin Sklercius to the inside. And Streveler didn't just line up at Z receiver on the far side of the field. He came down and laid some blocks in the run game, set up Brady Oliveira's touchdown run tonight, on the run that set him up at the 2. Incredible performance from both quarterbacks tonight in 2 different ways. You don't get to say that too often.
Well, and you could argue by all 3 of the Bombers quarterbacks, Darrin, with Terry Wilson coming in on short yardage. I like what I saw, and even if Strevy is still the backup and not playing on offense, which we hope doesn't happen next week, not because of Strevy, because of what he can or can't do, just because you want your receivers, right? You want Stearns and Demski back. But Terry Wilson, say what you want about him as a pocket passer, Darrin, but on short yardage, he has push. And he got outside in the fourth quarter on that, or maybe it was third quarter, on that 16-yard run from third and short off the left side, gains the edge. So, but for me, Darrin, this game was about the offense. That's the game story for me, because you came into this game with Jason Hogan getting criticized by lack of use of Brady, especially late in games. You saw Zach throwing picks in the previous few games. You saw the offense go stagnant for large swaths of the middle of the game, especially the third quarter. They go down their 2 best receivers in Stearns and Demski, Darrin. And they finally get it to Brady in the third and fourth quarter. We talked about that maybe season-defining drive, that 10-play, 81-yard touchdown drive.
There's that run by Wilson for 16 yards.
Yeah,
part
beauty.
of Winnipeg's
Get on YouTube, folks.
425 yards of net offense tonight.
So, yes, you could say, okay, third quarter, the offense didn't have a great third quarter again. They only have 26 points in now 10 third quarters this season, Darrin. But they had 269 yards of offense in the first half and 15 first downs. But in the second half, they still had production. Finally, the offense keeps its foot on the gas. 156 yards of offense in the second half, 9 first downs, 10 points in the second half. They sealed the game. And I just want to say one more thing about the offense.
Here's a run in the third quarter from Oliveira.
Oh, let's see this. Because Oliveira was...
What were you saying? You'll say this about the offense.
Look at who they're playing against. I know that Montreal had a 4th-string quarterback who I thought, again, played pretty well.
Played pretty good.
Yeah, I thought he was great, given the circumstances. But Montreal's defense is for real. I mean, you and Walby talked about this on the pregame, and check out the pregame if you haven't already. It's even great to watch after the game is over. I always listen to it after. But, Darrin, the Montreal defense is legit.
You watch it to see how right Chris and I are every single week.
Of course. And of course,
Polly?
We're doing something right. 100,000 downloads, Darrin. Congratulations.
Yeah. No, it's
Way
good.
To go, buddy.
It's good.
But I just wanted to say the Montreal defense is legit. Noel Thorpe is maybe the best D coordinator in the CFL these last 10, 15 years. But against the run, Darrin, okay, I
love it.
Good to see you, Jerry. I know that Montreal's DBs were injured a little bit, okay? But that D-line was pretty much intact. Those linebackers are intact. This is the second best run defense in the CFL yardage-wise. And the Bombers took it to them, buddy.
They took it to them tonight.
They took it to him. Brady Oliveira, 137 yards rushing on 16 carries, 8.6 yard average. He had an explosion play. The Bombers, I think maybe their only explosion play. Oh no, Wheatfall had a 32-yard catch. 28-yard run by Brady. Brady has 6 10-yard runs. 6 runs of 10 yards or more. Terry Wilson chipped in with 22 yards. Collaros was running the ball. Demski was running the ball. Like, against the second best run defense in the CFL. Tough road game. Receivers go down. Montreal knew that they were going to have to rely on Brady, and Winnipeg did it anyway. That is the definition that the team knows what you're going to do, and you can exert your will anyway. Brady brand, bully, ball, bomber football.
You know, you heard me off the top. This team played pissed off. They won the turnover battle. Great. But they won the physicality battle. And that's something I don't think a lot of people have been talking about. But Winnipeg has been losing the physicality battle a lot this year. That game a couple weeks ago in Calgary, they got pushed around. You could even say against Ottawa in the second half, they got pushed around. That's why Dustin Crum was so effective. But tonight, in a place that is always hard to play, Walby and I talked about that on the pregame show. You know, it's like the red light fever. I just kind of made that up. I don't know if that's a real, if anybody says that, but like, when you're in Quebec, fever. Well, we kind of got carried away because Walby started talking with his French accent, which is extraordinary. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, I got to rewatch
that. Oh, hey, Sandy, $10 on the super chat. I love you guys. You are the best, says Sandy. Thank you, Sandy. You are an absolute sweetheart. Really looking forward to seeing you at the Banjo Bowl Prairie Rivalry Bash. Oh, yes.
Yes, I got to get my ticket. I forgot to get my ticket. Sorry, Bomber Vixen and Bomber Reaper. I will get it.
We'll get you there.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll happen. You better get your tickets. Everybody better get their tickets. You better get secure your spot now for the Labor Day trip. Like, time is ticking. I've stayed up late. I've stayed up all night, multiple nights, longer than there is between now and when that bus leaves for Labor Day. That's not true. I haven't stayed up for 8 days straight, but next Saturday morning, that bus heads off after breakfast and drinks and mimosas. And we got swag bags and prizes. Might even have some of these for my people.
I hope you have one for me, because remember, Daphne chewed up my Bonfire Hat, buddy.
You got, right. You still got your gray one.
I have the gray one. I got the gray one, which I need to wash. I know you've been bugging me about keeping it clean, but
I haven't been bugging you about that.
Yes, you a couple times, and it's fair because it's really dirty because I've had it for like 4 years. But yes, the 1930crew.com folks, hit them up on socials. The 1930 crew, only 2 spots left.
Yeah.
2 spots left to have a trip of a lifetime. Wish you could join us, Sandy. We'll be thinking of you. But anybody on this chat, if you don't have plans yet for that weekend, all you got to do is sign up and get on the bus, and the rest is taken care of. And you get to party with Bombing and me, and Hustler, Carter Chen, Dave Patrician, Jeffrey Bannon, Pat Rathwell, and the brains behind the operation.
And you out there, Bonfire starters. Get on the Bonfire bus. Get on the Hus bus. Hustler and WST crew will be in tow as well. Vicky said she bought her Bonfire hat last week. I even heard about you, Vicky, when I went to 𝘎𝙤𝙤 on 65 𝘎𝙦𝙧𝙯 Bay to pick up your Bonfire hat. It's like, oh yeah, nice lady came in here today and got her hat. I'm like, oh, how about that? I wondered who it was. Now we know it's Vicky.
Vicky's section 128 OG.
Well,
Shout out to Vicky.
Don't give out her address too.
854 Hazeldale.
Yeah.
Right beside Tico Napoli.
Mm-hmm. I mean, tonight, I think you want to get right into WALBY'S Warrior. I think, giving it to Brady's a kind of a home run.
Yeah. Well, do you want to give it to Brady, obviously, and then maybe... I was going to say I'll think of someone else, but I don't know if I can.
You give it to Brady because I got someone else.
Okay, so in my quick math here, Darren, so Brady Oliveira is my WALBY'S Warrior. Like I said, Montreal knew he was going to run. They even stacked the box. Brady was patient. He was powerful. He ran off tackle. He ran up the middle. He caught the ball out of the backfield. He didn't even drop one ball, Darren. He was 9 for 9. Including a one-handed catch.
Yeah, that was a nice one-handed catch. Same with Demski on the play he got injured.
It's still 9 catches. Yeah, you're right. They're checkdowns, but it's still 9 catches against a really stout defense. 73 yards. 62 yards of the 73 he gained in through the air, Darrin, were yak yards, yards after contact, yards after the. Is it yards after contact or yards after the catch?
Yeah, yards after the catch.
Glenn Suter always says contact, which confuses me. But Brady had 3 second down conversions. I thought Brady was an absolute warrior. He has over 200 yards, 210 yards of offense, which is almost half of the entire offensive output. The Bombers had over 400 yards, 425 yards of offense. And I believe this is the first time the Bombers have had over 400 yards of offense since the Edmonton game in week 4 that they won by 13 points. Oh, I'm wrong. They had over 400 against Calgary, one of those first 2 games, but a lot of that was in garbage time. So this was full value. When they needed those yards, they got them. And I just thought, what can you say about the MOP? People have been clamoring for Jason Hogan to use Brady Oliveira more. And he did, and it worked. And you know what? The last thing I'll say, you got to give a shout out to that O-line, because I didn't think they were getting much push this year so far, Darrin, right?
That's why I'm giving the O-line WALBY'S warrior.
Sorry.
A lot of people were talking.
Okay, go ahead.
You hit the nail on the head, as did some people in the live chat. They were talking about Chris Streveler for WALBY'S warrior tonight for his blocking. Well, how about the guys that did all the blocking for Brady to average 8.6 yards per carry? That's otherworldly. Brady is an effing machine, says my good buddy Kyle. What's up, KK? Good to see you. I was almost going to pull out your Jets pseudonym. I don't even know if I remember it anymore because you're not on the Twitter machine much. Either way, the offensive line, I've been a critic of this offensive line for the last month and a half. You could probably even go back farther than that. I might have mentioned that they hadn't been playing their best. Last week, they were poor. The week before, they were poor. They haven't been good in a long time. Tonight, they looked really good. Very locked in from left to right. Very impressed with them. That's my WALBY'S warrior tonight. Opening things up for number 20, Brady Oliveira.
Can I just a quick thought on that? I thought the run blocking last week struggled. Brady had about 3.5 yards per carry last week against Ottawa. Funny enough, out of that game, the CFL stats that had compiled the first half of the season then had Ottawa as the best run defense in the CFL. So to be fair, they were going up against a stout run defense, but
just hang on. A stout run defense that was riddled with injuries. Like they lost Frankie Griffin, they lost 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙚𝙧𝙯. They had other guys that were, 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙚𝙧𝙗𝑎𝑏𝑒𝑛𝑒𝑛TO came back for that game, but like they lost like maybe they're one of their best run defenders and didn't have him for that game. Just thought I'd mention that. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure. But if you like that interior of the offensive line with Kolinkowski, Pat Neufeld, and Gabe Wallace. I won his jersey, by the way, folks. I'm getting a Gabe Wallace signed away jersey, baby. They haven't really been opening up holes. And if you look at now, I know the pro football focus stats are not the be all and end all, but I'm using them to make a point. Okay. Chris Kolinkowski is 8th among starting centers in the CFL in run blocking. Pat Neufeld, he is 9th. And Gabe Wallace isn't even in the top 15. Okay. Now, you can argue that people don't know the play calls when they score for PFF. We can talk about that another time. But it is a data point. But the thing is despite that, Darrin, against the second best run defense in the CFL, that interior, they forced themselves to open up holes, to create lanes for Brady. They exerted their will on a tough Montreal defense on the road. And I think you giving the WALBY'S warrior is right on point, buddy. Love it.
And to that point, Barflies asks, watching live on YouTube, what's up, Barflies? One of the Bonfire OGs, no doubt. Barflies asks, why didn't the Als defense key on Brady more and take him out of the game, especially with Winnipeg down 2 starting receivers? I think they did. Didn't matter. That's how well Winnipeg's offensive front played. You got to remember, too, it was a hot night. There was no air conditioning in the Blue Bombers locker room. Just thought I'd mention that because their social media team just thought they would mention that. But hot and humid in Montreal tonight. And in the third and fourth quarter of football games, like, teams wear down. Montreal was on a short week. Winnipeg had a nice long break from their last game to this one. What did they go from Friday to Thursday? Thursday to Thursday?
Yeah.
And then Montreal played, they were on like 4 days rest, 5 days. So I think Winnipeg had that advantage to them late in the game. The guys played crisp and sharp, and Montreal probably started to show, maybe their tongues were wagging a little bit at the end of that game. Either way, for Brady Oliveira to go off the way he did with 137 on the ground and 73 receiving, 3 second down conversions on those check down routes. Incredible. Yeah. Great big ups to the entire offensive line, including the tight ends, including Chris Streveler. Pretty nuts. What was going through your mind, Schnitzy, before we get into Westwoods wide to the right? What was going through your mind? I'll pull up the visual right now for people to follow along. What was going through your mind when this was happening? There's 17 in the slot.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay, there was a penalty here on Winnipeg, and it ended up not counting. So I don't think Streveler finished with a catch. No, he didn't.
Yeah.
That didn't even count as a target.
Yeah. What was going through my mind, honestly, was, holy crap, the Bombers only dressed 6 receivers. 2 of their top receivers are down. There's Streveler catching passes, something we maybe haven't seen since the days of Lapalisse running the offense in 2019, including in the Grey Cup. He caught one from Darvin Adams. The desperate measures, right? And
I was like,
my other
when I saw this, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. But my other thought was, where's Peyton Logan? I know Peyton Logan's not a receiver.
Oh, he was in.
He is a running back. Was he in on that play though? Because
if you have Winnipeg's offense. Like here, I'll pull up the depth chart. Okay, here's Winnipeg's offense and the depth chart from this week. Okay, so if you're down Demski and Stearns, okay, you got to fill these 2 spots here on Winnipeg's offense. You put Joey Corcoran in one, and they put they put Peyton Logan in the other. And then when Chris Streveler would come in, that's when they were going tight end sets. So they had to take a receiver off the field. I hear what you're saying. They have the personnel to do it. Mm-hmm. I'd have to look at that. That's a good point. I have to look at that.
Yeah, because what I thought about it, I was like, okay, if you have your 5 receivers, and if it's tight end, it's different. But it's 5 receivers, you're going to have. It was the
5 receiver sets where they said Streveler came in. So Wheatfall, Clarcius, Mitchell, Corcoran, and Streveler. So I guess they don't want Logan at receiver.
Well, maybe it's not a general approach. Maybe it was just, okay, this is Logan's first game. We want to see how he acclimatizes. He doesn't know the offense as well. I get that he didn't get a lot of snaps, and you put Streveler in. Listen, psychologically, the team loves Streveler, right? He's one of the heartbeats of this team. Can you have more than one heartbeat? I think you can.
Oh, yeah.
He's a leader. He probably knows the offense in terms of being a receiver. I mean, he is the quarterback, right? He knows all the routes. So I didn't mind it. I thought it was desperate times called for desperate measures, but they were still able to pull it out. And I just wanted to key on one thing you said, Darrin, that the Bombers played angry. And I think you nailed that too, because
super pissed off, man.
I think if you look at stuff in the media that's happened lately and calling out the team and
wait a minute. You calling me out right now? You calling me out?
No, not you. I've just noticed in the media there's been questions about Hogan. There's questions about consistency and running the football.
I don't even think you hang that on the media, though. I think everybody has been having questions about Hogan and,
Sure.
the defense and Collaros and Oliveira and the O-line, like a lot of people. And not blaming you for phrasing it that way, but I think that's why often people will say, well, it's the media's fault. Well, no, the media is the conduit to the fans. And if fans are asking questions, if fans like you guys are in the live chat and you're saying, Collaros this, Oliveira that, Jason Hogan this, Jordan Younger that, it's a reporter's job to ask those questions. They're not creating these storylines. Are they looking for them? Yes, but they have to find them. They don't create them. Okay, I'm off my soapbox for that. But Dan Asham of the legendary Asham family here in Manitoba, hurry hard, asked what happened to Demski tonight, and
Tyson
we'll get.
D.
Sorry.
Sorry, bud. Tyson just with the comment of the year, but I'll let people see it. Go ahead. Sorry, Darrin.
Yeah, that Hogan. Well, that Hogan's a piece of shit. The one that died. Yeah. If you don't know why, look it up. But Nick Demski tonight smacked his head incredibly. And you'll see here, he sat down on the bench. There's 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙨 in the white hat, pretty much telling Demski immediately, head to the room. Again, I think it's not irresponsible to say Demski very likely in concussion protocol. This is very similar to what happened to Zach Collaros when he missed a game and a half. Helmet just absolutely smacks off the turf. Absolutely smacks off the turf. Awful moment there. And sure hope for Nick and his family's sake that he is all right. No doubt. No doubt people wishing for the best. I'll let this roll here as they will show a replay of the moment. But losing someone like Nick Demski, Jeff Hamilton wrote about it in the Winnipeg Free Press this week. They've been talking about it, the Blue Bombers website and us, like how important Nick Demski is. He had, first of all, that's a true one-handed catch. Can I bring that back for a second?
Yeah, buddy.
I promise I'll let you all see. But this is a one-handed catch that he doesn't even corral with his left either. It's just snirk, just snags it, sticky fingers, and then.
Did you just say schnook?
I think there was a little accent came out. Yeah.
I like that little onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Bang. Nick Demski for a little onomatopoeia. Sorry to make light of this, but hate seeing that situation with Nick Demski injured tonight. I've also got the Jarrett Stearns injury. We've seen the big plays that Jarrett Stearns has made this year. He is such a talented player, such a, I will say he's so incredibly underrated, maybe because of his size. Oops. Sorry about that. Maybe because of his size, maybe because of some other things. But here's Jarrett Stearns going across the middle. He makes this catch, 22-yard reception. Led to a 35-yard Sergio Castillo field goal. Castillo, meanwhile, went 4 for 4 tonight. Another strong performance. Might be the best kicker in the CFL right now. But that's Stearns getting smacked by, who was it? 33 of Montreal. I believe Arthur Hamlin laid that hit on Jarrett Stearns. He did not return either. Real tough situation and moment there as well. I was just reading this comment from Don Cruikshank. Knew wide to the right, so he didn't like it. Saying the quiet part out loud by DB of someone who has passed. What, that Hulk Hogan's a POS? Yeah, he is. Was he my hero when I was a kid? Yeah. Dude's a terrible person. Look it up. Anyway, hate seeing those injuries, Schnitzy. Absolutely hate seeing those injuries. And I'm kind of with Tico Napoli. Jarrett Stearns catches everything. Great free agent signing by Kyle Walters this offseason.
Yep, he had 3 targets, 3 catches, 40 yards, a long of 22. He had a 22-yard catch, a second down conversion. Yeah, he's turned into a real, almost a number 2 receiver right now for the Bombers, right?
Snurk.
Yeah, behind Demski.
Yeah.
Or Brady's the number. Maybe Brady's the number 2 receiver right now.
Well, he's got the receiving numbers, but when it comes to 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙎𝙬, 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙀𝙬, man, he's awesome. I was so impressed with this. I'm gonna pull up this play. What's that?
I think he was great tonight, Carrick. He chipped in with 64 yards.
Most nights.
Yeah. He had a big 30. He had the Bombers one explosion play on the pass game, 32-yard catch. Look at him pull it up. And this play, so it looks like Clercy. I mean, it's perfectly thrown by Zach Collaros. My friend Caitlin said that's vintage Zach Collaros, and I think she was bang on there. He just throws it right over the second level of the defense, over the linebackers. Before the DBs, you see 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙀𝙀. What is that? A post there?
Yeah, it's kind of a skinny.
Not
post.
A skinny post.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me look
it's
at
kind
it.
of a.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to learn more about receiver routes, and I think that's a post. But
yeah, that's a post.
It's a big time, but that's a big time play, right? I mean, it's 10-10. It's a tie game late in the second quarter. You've had some explosion plays against the Bombers did with a sort of a gadget throw by Sneed, and another Hollins had 2 over 40-yard catches. I think both were on Dexter Lawson. Not Dexter Lawson. Is it Dexter Lawson?
Dexter Lawson Jr.
Dexter Lawson Jr.
They were
he
picking
struggled
on him.
maybe.
They were picking on him.
And Hollins is a good receiver, but anyway, we'll get to the defense later. But that's a big time play in a tie game, right?
Yeah, we'll take a look.
Second down, 10-10, 32-yard
This was
game.
Early, and I'll pull it back because I think people want to see rookie defensive back Dexter Lawson Jr. far side of the field. It's just a nice double move. That opens things up. And, you got a rookie Cam Allen at safety. You got a rookie Dexter Lawson at field side corner. Tico Napoli, that story about the PPI, Polo Park Inn, pretty funny. Cam Allen did great, says Monica S. I think he played well. I think Cam Lawson overall kept things in front of him outside of a couple plays, similar to last week. I think he's getting a little bit better all the time. But in the end, there's a good look at Jordan Younger, Blue Bombers defensive coordinator, absolute stud player in the CFL and NFL when during his playing days. But did you notice Evan Holm had another interception tonight? Mm-hmm. That's 4 on the season.
Yep.
So, you live by the sword a little bit, you get a little good, you get a little bad. Winnipeg's defensive backfield has shown good and shown bad. Some people talking about the punishment that 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙀 takes when he makes those catches. Well, it's the same sort of situation when you have players on defense that play with reckless abandon, like Reddick Cramdy, who got snagged up to injury on that play you just saw. Here, I'll pull it back. He returned to the game and was able to finish, but real tough, just a real tough SOB. The Blue Bombers defense is full of those guys. It's full of those guys. Yeah. They play hard. They play tough. Kyrie Wilson missed a tackle tonight. I tried to find that highlight for you, Schnitzy. I couldn't. But Tony Jones, I don't know if there's a tougher dude on the defense. It's incredible. And then Willie Jefferson with a couple knockdowns tonight. It was nuts.
Yeah, Willie Jefferson came up huge in that second half, especially. Yeah, Tony Jones again lead. If we're getting into the defense here, Tony Jones again leading the team in tackles with 9. I thought the defense was full value, Darrin. I mean, yes, they were playing a 4-string quarterback, but they allowed a couple big explosion plays, which is
this might not have been a great throw. Yeah,
they were allowing. No, it's okay. They had been allowing the second most explosion plays in the CFL on passing plays, and they give up 2 in the first half. And you're thinking, okay, no, like here goes Stearns goes down, Demski goes down, right? The defense is going to have to step up, and they did, right? They caused 2 turnovers in the second half. That whole the Vavel interception to seal it at the end, the turnover on downs, and they only allowed Montreal to score 3 points in the second half. That is what they needed to do. And they got it done. They played physical. They missed a couple tackles. I've noticed a couple times where guys are going for the kill shot just to rock somebody, and I'd like to see them wrap up on tackling a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But I thought the defense in the second half held it down. I liked Vavel at corner. I thought Lawson didn't give up anything in the second half.
Oh yeah, that third rookie at defensive back on the corner,
right? And then Cam Allen had an unbelievable hit in the fourth quarter on a second down throw from James Morgan, and he timed it beautifully and smoked the receiver, knocking the ball out of his hands. And I think Bomber fans, Brandon Alexander is now with the team in a different role. He's sort of hung up his cleats, right?
Doing some community outreach stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And we love Brandon Alexander on the show. He's a great guy. One of the things we loved about Brandon Alexander, and before him, Taylor Loeffler, if I may bring up his name, is these were hard-hitting safeties that set the tone. That's not the only job for safety. They're the quarterback of the back five, right? But when you have a safety that comes over the middle and jars a ball loose on a big second down conversion, that's what you want to see. You want to strike fear in the receivers when they're running deep down the middle, right? Yeah. And I think we were all looking for that from our safety. No knock on Jamal Parker. I think he played reasonably well, but he's a smaller guy. Cam Allen is.
You're saying in games past when he was healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. I like, but look, I wanted to see that from Cam Allen.
They need Jamal Parker back. They need Demario Houston to rejoin this team. A lot of people wondering, well, they signed him, he knows the system. Why isn't he playing? Well, he's essentially coming off the street, right? You could give him a week, give him a little bit of time. I think it would be really foolhardy. I shared this on social media, on Twitter. I think it would be super foolhardy to throw him into the lineup that quick. Waiter saying, get BA, Brandon Alexander, on the show. Oh, we've tried. Oh, we are trying. I won't say tried. We are trying. Probably we are. Yeah, James the Peg. Willie gets another game ball. Yeah, that's absolutely true. As I pull back, we were just looking at this Willie Jefferson graphic. I want people to remember that here's that all-time list: Eddie Davis and Adrian Smith, DBs. Those guys are DBs. These are all-time knockdowns in the CFL. Eddie Davis, DB. Adrian Smith, DB. Javon Johnson, DB. I think Shannon Garrett's a defensive back. Absolutely.
Well, and one of Willie's knockdowns was what caused a turnover on downs in the fourth quarter. I mean, Again, we talk about this all the time, right, Darrin? Like big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. You have the team on third down, right? And he knocks that ball down. I mean, here it is. Look at you, right on cue, buddy. Folks, you got to watch this on YouTube. But we're showing
Wes Lysak. I used to play against Wes Lysak. And yeah, I played receiver. Didn't like it. Didn't like playing against Wes Lysak.
And that I think Sneed was actually wide open because the DBs were playing back a little bit to take away anything long. Sneed gets that. It's a first down on third down, and Willie knocks it down. And check out our show a few weeks back where Willie came on and talked a little bit about the science of a knockdown. Just huge.
That was so much fun. Farside Bruce says Dillon Mitchell was pretty much invisible. What has he got? 14 yards in 2 games entering tonight. tonight he had, what did he have? You got the stats there? Oops.
Yeah, Dillon Mitchell had
2 catches.
For
22 yards.
But one of those catches was for 21 yards on second down.
Do I look for the stat or do I look for the highlight?
You look for the highlights because you have them.
Yeah.
I'll look for the stats. I'll do the easy job.
This was 2nd and 10 and an important one. And Mitchell picks it up on a nice kind of hot route. What's a hot route? Well, this is a hot route. It's 1, 2, 3 steps, boom, real quick. And nice job after the catch too. You know, I wouldn't say he's been the most explosive after the catch, maybe not like his days in Edmonton, but there he got upfield enough to pick up the first down. That was a 21 yard pickup on 2nd and 10. So, I mean, if the street dog is ready for Labor Day, Dillon Mitchell's coming out.
Yeah.
He hasn't done enough.
For sure.
Yeah. Do you got a Westwood wide to the right?
Yeah. My Westwood wide to the right is, again, I'm not an X's and O's guy. I don't have access to the All-24, Darrin. But giving up those 2 explosion plays to Alexander Hollins, who they should have been keying on because he's probably their best receiver in Montreal right now with Philpott and Mac out.
Yep.
Dexter Lawson Jr. Got burnt on a couple. Now, should he have had safety help for one of them? Maybe, was he left hung out to dry? I don't know. But it looked to me like he bit on that double move to Hollins. To be fair, Bonds was biting on double moves a lot too. Hey, Phyllis, how you doing? Phyllis and OG, Jets girl, Don Crookshank. I didn't like that. You couldn't give up those explosion plays. One of them was to a 4th string quarterback, right? And so I thought that was wide to the right. The other thing I'll just briefly mention, there was 2 2nd and 2 calls by the Bombers offense that I thought were strange. One of them, it was in the 4th quarter, Bombers were 2nd and 2, and they take a time count with about 3.5 minutes left. Streveler is in at quarterback. You have Brady just destroying the Alouettes. I don't know why Streveler is in there on 2nd and 2, especially when he's a receiver right now. So you can't afford for him to go down. Why aren't you running the ball with Brady? Or Terry Wilson's averaging 10 yards on 3rd down. Get him in there on 2nd and 2. Didn't understand that. Maybe they were trying to get too cute. I'm of course rewatch the game and check it out. And then there was another 2nd and 2.
That 16-yard run bumped his average up to 7.3. But if you take away that run, he had 2 carries for 6 yards.
Yeah.
So
he's going to get you 3, hopefully. Yeah. And then there was another 2nd and 2. Yeah, for sure. And there was another 2nd and 2 in the first half. In the 2nd quarter, Zach was in. They tried some play action. They were in field goal range, Darrin, and Zach gets sacked. What's this? Kyle, I burnt down my childhood dog's doghouse. Does that make me bonfire guy pissed? Oh my God.
Oh.
So that sack takes them out of field goal range on 2nd. Like, you can't take a sack on 2nd and 2 and get you out of field goal range in a tight game. Like, those types of plays didn't matter at the end in this game, Darrin. But if you go into Labor Day and you're down Demski and Stearns and hopefully Schoen comes back, you can't make errors like that. You have to convert on 2nd and 2. Or at least you can't get sacked and be taken out of field position. So I thought Hogan overall called a great game. Like, kudos to Hogan. He may get a game ball from me. Actually, he will. Just to tell me what you think, folks in the chat. Does he get a game ball? But those couple of plays were tough to see. So that would be my other wide to the right. So I got 2 wide to the right.
Man. Okay, that just means one less game ball. One less game ball you get. Some people talking about like Granny Bomber fan. This is from a little earlier, but I saved it. Why is Montreal allowed to use sirens now? Air horns were banned. What gives? Did you hear it was over the PA system or the music system? Like it was like this. Ridiculous.
Oh, I hated it. Well, I thought they got rid of the horns, but then they had these sirens and they had these other kinds of horns.
The horns were the fans. Like they would have like little pump air horns or like.
But I thought they got rid of those. I thought they got rid of the other horn.
But these were like over the PA music system. Tico Napoli gives his Westwood wide to the right to those. I'm going to play this play, and I'll be honest, I want to get a look at it to see if my Westwood wide to the right is here. There's a little check down. Here, watch it again in real time. Here's a little check down from Zach Collaros. Brady gets a nice pickup. Almost picks up the first down. It was, what was that, 2nd and 8? But there was a flag on the play. And here, I'll just cut to the chase. We'll skip ahead. Backed Montreal up 15 yards. It was roughing the passer. Montreal number 98, who's Dillon Wynn. Remember Dillon Wynn? I know Chris Streveler remembers Dillon Wynn when he was with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Bottom of the pile. Twisty.
Yes.
But there's Dillon Wynn with a late shot on Zach Collaros. Here's Dillon Wynn right here. Right side of your screen. And sometimes a player can't see. Like, look, Neufeld is mauling the young man here. No harm, no foul. So maybe he can't see that the ball's out, but he does see the quarterback. And that's a super late hit. And it's not too egregious. It's not too egregious. So maybe I'll just go Westwood wide to the right. To the sirens over the PA system. But that set up the Nick Demski touchdown. 7 plays, 72 yards, and Demski punches it in from, what was that, 2 yards out? Whoops.
Yep. I was screaming at the TV, why are you doing play action? Why are you throwing the ball? What are you doing? But of course, whenever I yell that, I'm always wrong because it's the right call, right? You had some guys up the middle there. They would have stuffed Brady, and that's exactly the right call.
Put Winnipeg up 10-3
there.
Yeah. Put Winnipeg up 10-3. Demski doing what he does best, catching passes in the clutch. Really like this personnel package here. Here's Michael. I think that's Michael Chris Ike, the fullback. So this looks like a power run to the left. Great play fake. And there's Demski. It's almost like a trademark slide he does with his knees when he catches passes like that. Really like that.
Bit of Weston Dressler, eh?
Yeah.
Remember Weston Dressler would always get down. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure hope Nick's all right. Sure hope Jareth Stearns is all right as well. But that was just kind of a scary moment when he did suffer injury tonight. Great to see everybody in the live chat. Don Crookshank, wide to the right. Schnitzer hadn't yelled more this season to be wrong and help the Bombers be right.
It always happens if you sit in section 128 with me. I'll be like, run the ball. And then Zach will pass like a 50-yard bomb for a touchdown. I haven't learned my lesson. I still haven't realized that I'm not an offensive coordinator. So, yeah.
Trade deadline, I think, is early October.
I'll pull it up right now.
I could look it up.
I'll do it. I got it here.
If you just Google it, or even better, use AI, because I don't really see the point of Google anymore, because it gives you multiple sources and actually is smart. But
CFL trade deadline 2025. I'm trying to find it right here. I think it's in October. It's usually sort of the second week of October.
St. James.
Oh, here we go. Key 2025 CFL offseason dates. Let's see here, Darrin. This is riveting
content.
Riveting content. I doesn't even have it on the CFL website. Oh my God. That's terrible.
I thought you said you had it.
I thought I did it because I'm looking at an article from the CFL that says key 2025 CFL off-season dates you need to know. Oh, off-season dates. Okay. Way to go, Zach. Someone help us out here. Why don't we keep talking about other stuff and someone else will find it?
Well, do you got we need everybody's bonfire burning point in the live chat right now. And I think, you and I could get into that right now. Do you have a,
Sure.
There you go.
I do have a bonfire burning point. It was in the third quarter, middle of the third quarter. Bombers up 16-13, Darrin. And
It's early October.
Execute a 10-play, 81-yard touchdown drive capped off by Brady Oliveira with the second touchdown of the game. Really nice play calling, balanced drive with 4 passes, 6 runs. Brady
8 minutes, has 31 seconds.
Yeah. Brady has 42 of the 81 yards, some check downs, some runs, and he caps it off. And I thought that was the turning point for me because this was a really tight game. Like I was really nervous watching this game up 16-13. I thought, man, are we seeing Rocky Butler here? Like is James Morgan going to pull this out? Are they going to win on a walk-off or something? And the Bombers did what we expect the Bombers to do the last 5 years. Take the game over, kill the clock, and beat the other team down. And if you want to know one of the most telling stats in football when a team effectively runs the ball, it's time of possession. At half, the Bombers had 20 minutes time of possession to Montreal's 10, and they continued that trend. At the end of the game, Bombers almost 36 minutes time of possession to Montreal's 24. Like that almost is maybe one of the most telling stats of this game, that the Bombers, when it mattered, dominated this game.
I really like this one. Bonfire burning point, no giveaways. No turnovers committed by the Bombers tonight.
That's right.
KK strikes again. Yeah. Even Jeff Cabillas agrees.
Cabillas.
Yeah.
Cabillas and I got to do a workout together because I've started doing some heavier lifting and I need some coaching from Cabillas. Started taking the creatine. Yeah.
I take the creatine.
Oh my God.
I take the creatine for mental health.
I've heard that it's
cognition.
Good for mental acuity.
Yeah.
For what? For what? Cognition?
Yeah.
Ah. I don't know that cognition is any better.
That's why I'm so smart.
Well, obviously. You're also smart because you hang out with me and WALBY.
I've been called a smart a smart ass a lot. Is that the same thing? I don't know.
Vicky's saying here on the chat, her bonfire burning point, Darrin, is 2 friends from Lac du Bonnet just got 2 seats today on the 1930 crew bus, baby. Look out.
Yes.
Lac du Bonnet is coming. Love it.
Love
Vicky.
that.
That's awesome.
Speaking of the 1930 crew, okay. Our good friends at the Silver Heights restaurant. There it is. 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙧𝙯 Drive. That's the legit sign. That's not just the legit sign. That's the first
awesome.
one.
How did they get that?
The city has had to replace that sign a few times. But like, look closely. I wonder if I can zoom in. Look close. Like, look. It's got the freaking post thing. Like the post goes in
awesome.
there. And there's Milt's autograph. They had a good laugh. Milt and the crew. But like you wonder, like, okay, Silver Heights restaurant, best ribs in town, Winnipeg's original sports bar, but are they Bombers people? Well, there's the For the W flag, St. James. There's the 𝘎𝙤𝙧𝙧𝙯 Drive. Like that's front and center. Now I can't zoom out. And this spot, like WALBY and I were talking about on the pregame show, Silver Heights restaurant is like where the players used to go after the games back in the old Canada Inns days. Since 1957. It has been one family, one location, and one prerogative that you go and have an amazing time. We have got some, like the ribs there are ridiculous. I don't know if, Schnitzy, you remember when I sat down with Andrew Harris? We sat down outside. We talked about his documentary. We talked about his, challenges in his life, his story, his journey, all of that. We sat down at the Heights on the patio and had some ribs. They're insane good. As well as so many other things that they got there. So go check them out in St. James. There's Tony. There's JC. And you tell them Bonfire sent you. We've got some giveaways, both on the 1930 crew trip, as well as here on Bonfire Sports. Game Day Winnipeg, the pregame show, Game Day After Dark. We've got some food vouchers to give away for the Taste of Manitoba that is coming up. Silver Heights Restaurant will be there, and so will you. But you're not going to have tickets to Taste of Manitoba. You're going to have like food and drink tickets, the good tickets to get. We'll find a way to give those away very, very soon. Very, very soon. See, I haven't eaten at the Heights in about a week, so I'm starting to get
can everyone say hi to Livy, the bonfire cat? She's got a huge crush on Darrin. Loves Darrin. Oh my God. Loves Darrin. But here she is celebrating the Bombers win. Hey
Schnitzy, do me a favor. Show your cat and tell me about your I got to run. I'm going to be right back, but just share with everybody your Happy Honker Award tonight.
Kyle says, Zach, this is a kid's show. Put your purry away. Did you guys know that Katy Perry's cat is named Kitty Purry? I just think that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Happy Honker tonight, folks. Let me check my notes here, because I did have a happy... Well, first of all, I thought it was pretty funny on the broadcast, the TSN broadcast, when Paul LaPolice and Rod Smith put on the eye black. That was pretty funny. I love Lapo. Maybe he gets my happy honker. I love him as a color commentator. I love watching his coach's playbook videos. You can check those out every week on YouTube. I learn a lot about football. I forget most of it the next day, but one or two things stick, and that's more because of my cognitive impairment. Jets Girl saying butter ripple for cognitive stimulation. I like that, Jets Girl. And then Tara and Patty on the chat talking about butter ripple. But my happy honker is... Where is my happy honker? I got my note. Oh, here we go.
It's usually between your legs.
What, you mean Livy? Livy's my happy honker? My happy honker was Streveler in at receiver. As much as it was a critical part of the game, it gave me a bit of a chuckle. I was like, who else has a back? Like, say what you will about Streveler as a starting quarterback, but who else has a backup quarterback that could play at receiver in a pinch? Yeah, Tico Napoli and I agree, right? I love that. Good on Strevy. I'd like to see maybe Peyton Logan in that spot next game. If it comes to that, I hope it doesn't. But that's my happy honker.
I like that. Twig and Berries. Speaking of happy honker. Twig and Berries says Brady's roar in the fourth quarter after his run, you could hear from here. Oh,
I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a
American
good
Army
honker.
knife. See, like people used to call Nick Demski the Swiss Army knife, and I'd be like, oh, he's the Canadian Army knife. Well, if Strevy would be maybe the Viking Army knife. Zach Collaros mentioned after the game that Streveler's a Viking. Chris WALBY'S a Viking.
Right.
They build him a certain way up there.
Is WALBY an Icelandic name?
Chris WALBY is a Viking.
He looks like a Viking.
Yep. He definitely is.
Do you have a happy honker?
I'll just give the happy honker to the fans tonight, because I think Winnipeg looked like a they looked like a Grey Cup caliber football team. How about that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Walby is a French Viking. Yeah. If you missed Walby talking in his French accent, like check out the pregame show. Holy cow. Yeah. It was hilarious. Tico Napoli says Dylan Mitchell should get the ball a little bit more. If you're not getting open.
Yeah. Well, and that. Oh, go ahead. I was just going to
say, like, if this was a Alouettes post-game show, like they do on the Alouettes flight deck.
Yeah, shout out to the Alouettes flight deck. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim and Cliffy, good friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
This would probably be their happy honker. And this was Tyler Snead on the halfback. I mean, I blew it.
Yeah.
Should play it from the beginning. Tyler Snead on the halfback pass. What's a halfback pass? Well, it means, like your running back throws the ball or somebody in the backfield. That was kind of a jet sweep. Apparently, Tyler Snead, like, threw passes in college all the time, high school. I'm sure he was involved in a lot of trick plays. But this was kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Great play design from Jason Moss. And like Trey Vavel is right there.
Yeah.
Which is just tough. But really nice ball from Tyler Snead. Like really nice ball.
Well, and wouldn't you say like Hollins shows late hands there? Like he doesn't put out his hands until the ball is right there.
Yeah.
Which is going to fool the DB, even if he's in great position. He doesn't know when to throw up his hands and knock that ball down. And I want to apologize to Dexter Lawson Jr. I thought he gave up that explosion play there, Darren, but actually it was Vavel. But Vavel was in good position.
Yeah. See, Tara Maslowski, the 1930 crew, she knows what's up. Cactus Jack Wells, honk, honk, honk.
Very well done, Tara.
That's right.
Very well done.
I'm absolutely jacked for Labor Day. The Blue Bombers are going to go into Regina with momentum. You mentioned they hadn't won back-to-back games since that 3-0 start to the season in June. The Saskatchewan Roughriders, just pulling up the schedule here. Saskatchewan Roughriders are in Calgary on Saturday. So Winnipeg's played tonight, Thursday. They get a win. They're on the road. They'll get to drink it in and enjoy it. No pun intended, in Montreal, but probably true. And then they'll have Friday to be back in the facility and review the film, put a bow on the Montreal week, and then they'll get a day or two off, maybe even 3. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then their practice week will probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, they might even get 4 days. This is almost like a pseudo bye week for the Bombers. They could go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, travel, walk through on Saturday in Regina, and then play on Sunday. Yeah. That's a nice one. Tico Napoli with the super chat. $10. Thank you, sir.
Hey.
And it turned out nice again. Indeed.
Thank you, Tico. You rock, buddy. Bonfire OG. Love it.
Yeah.
854 Hazeldale. That's
Jingle
where he lives if you want to go.
keys.
Oh, yeah.
That was always my favorite. Tyson Ducharme. I need to get to Labor Day. Yep.
Yeah, Tyson
Nothing
D.
like
What? You're not on the trip? Are you kidding me, Tyson D? Tarps off Tyson D from section 141. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
How are you not on this trip?
Sasha.
Oh my God, Sasha.
$20. Thank you, Sasha.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Sasha,
We appreciate all the support. Pet your pets, people. Pet your pets.
Libby's waving at you, Sasha.
Come here.
You're the best, Sasha.
Here she is. Here's Ruby. She's pretty.
Hey, Ruby. Bonfire dog. Bonfire cat.
I'm Ruby's third and final owner. Right, Rube? Best dog. Like, incredible. Won the dog lottery. She is so
best
sweet.
Dog.
She is so obedient. No mischief. Just chill. All love. It's crazy. Look at this.
Well, she's chill, but you have a special ability with animals. I found out
Because I kind of hypnotized your dog last night.
Oh my God. He comes in. Daphne is all over him. She's all excited.
She's pumped.
She's like, oh, you know, all over Darrin. She didn't nip you, but like, you know, she's headbutting you and all this stuff.
Yeah. You have a beautiful dog, by the way. Like, she's gorgeous.
She is a beautiful,
gorgeous dog.
Well, of course, she's a Schnitzer, Daphne Schnitzer.
Yeah, that's right.
Tom Halleck is on the chat. Shout out to Tom Halleck. Does a great job in that press box. Saying the Alouettes flight deck guys are crying about the final Brady Oliveira run. You know what? I was getting in the car. I didn't stay right till the end because I want to get on the show. What happened there, Darrin? Do you remember that? Or Tom, can you fill us in? What happened at the end with the Brady Oliveira run?
No idea.
I don't know.
I can tell you.
Tell us in the chat,
not
folks.
that big of a deal.
Probably not.
Yeah. No, I hypnotized your dog last night.
You did. You were just like, Daphne, calm, Daphne. And then next thing I know, she's like, her snout is in Darren's hand, and she's just sleeping. And I'm like,
just
oh my
palmed
God.
her face.
Yeah,
like her eyes were right here.
It was like a Caesar Milan. Yeah. Everett left. Absolutely join us. We'll be getting into Regina usually Saturday mid-afternoon, Darrin? We're at the Four Seasons. Hit us up on social hit us up on social, Darrin or I.
And you know what? You
Zach
can
Schnitzer
text
48 DM me.
You can text the Bonfire hotline 204-816-TIPS. 816 TIPS. That's 816-8477. Standard message rates apply. Just like you texting your mama, as we always say. Just text the line. You know what? You could probably even try calling it. If I'm on Wi-Fi, I'm sure I can answer it because it's like it's not like a SIM card number. It's like a VoIP number. But 816-8477, 204 area code.
Yeah, man.
You're good friends.
We'll meet up there.
Yeah. Text the hotline right now. Gerald has been pumping us for a long time. Appreciate you, Gerald. Thank you. Always saying, hit that thumbs up. Hit it right now, people. Appreciate that. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Hit us up, buddy. We'd love to see you out there. It's just such a great time. And let me tell you, Darrin, if the Bombers go into Regina this year and beat the Rough Riders, the 8-1 dominant Rough Riders, it will be one of the sweetest victories outside of the Grey Cup or a playoff win that I think I could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, maybe regression to the mean. They're due for a dud. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are, but stopping Trevor Harris right now seems the only way I think the Bombers could do it. And you and Walby will get into this on your pregame, which I guess you'll do on Saturday.
I'm not even worried about Trevor Harris. I'm worried about this.
Yeah, their defense, right?
Is stupid good. 4-1 at home. Yeah. That loss coming to the Calgary Stampeders, like a month ago? 4-0 on the road. 3-1 in the division. That lost to Calgary, as we mentioned. Here's the Stamps at 6-3. Of course, they swept the Blue Bombers, so there will be no tiebreaker for Winnipeg against Calgary. It'll go the other way. But Winnipeg and BC have played one more game than the rest of the division. But Winnipeg 6-4, BC 5-5. BC is playing really, really well right now. Edmonton's in the hunt. They're just 4 points back of BC, and BC 2 points back of Winnipeg. This game in hand, it's going to be so important for Winnipeg to make hay while the sun is shining, as they say. And there's no better way to do that than to knock off the top team in the league and in the division. There is the Labor Day Classic, Sunday, August 31st in Regina. The Banjo Bowl the following Saturday here in Winnipeg. That will be the 11th straight. Oh, bless you.
Excuse me. I am allergic to cats, but we have 3, so this is just great. But whatever.
Sheesh.
But Darrin, if you look at the Riders, I mean they have the best. Yeah. They have the best defense in the CFL. They allow 69 rush yards per game. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think that now. Maybe there's a miracle, maybe not a miracle, but maybe the Bombers can establish the line of scrimmage there.
Montreal had the number 2 or number 3 ranked rush defense in the CFL, and
number
Winnipeg
2. They were only allowing
knock their
But
pants
listen
off.
to this. Saskatchewan allows 69.1 yards per game on average. Montreal is the second place team, and they allow 10 more. 79 average. Like that's a huge difference between 1 and 2, right?
Yeah,
Like
season average. Yeah,
it's like Saskatchewan is legit on defense and on offense for that matter. They're second in net offense. So they're second in net offense and they're first in net offense against. I mean, that reminds you of the dominant Bomber teams of the last 4 or 5 years. I
that's the
think
way
this
I see it.
Riders team, though, they just signed Campbell Fair, as a kicker who made a 56-yarder, I think, in practice, I heard. But
talking about
practice. But this Riders team kind of reminds me of the 2022 Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who were just absolutely loaded at every position, going for the three-peat, and their one Achilles heel was at kicker. And you look at what Brett Lawther's doing. Now, I actually think Brett Lawther will right the ship. He has in the past. He had a tough game. Remember that tough game last year where they lost by 3 and he missed like 4 field goals? I think he'll turn it around. But this Rider team is no joke. They're legit. But how good would it be when everyone's saying, "Oh, the Bombers, the good years are done, the good times are over," and they just flip one on the Riders and go into Mosaic with all of us there, with all of you watching, with all of us doing the post-game show, and they beat them. That would just be so sweet, man.
No question it would be. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention the context there is pretty obvious. I mean, tonight they beat a Montreal team with a very good defense and a backup quarterback. And they did it on the road. Winnipeg has to do it on the road this coming week in Regina. They are going to have that nice long break. Saskatchewan plays on Saturday this week. So they will go 1 week between games. Winnipeg will go like 10 days. So 7 days, 10 days between kickoffs, if you will. Is that right? Yeah. Sask plays Saturday. And then they're going to play Sunday. So they'll go 7 days off between games. Winnipeg will go 9 days off between games. But to my point, the challenge is not insurmountable, but the challenge is so much greater than it was tonight. Was tonight a good indication of what Winnipeg is capable of? Yeah, when your quarterback goes almost 90%, your running back puts up 200 plus, the offensive line and the entire team wins the physicality battle. You're clean when it comes to penalties, and you're clean, perfectly clean, with 0 giveaways. It's a great indication that this team maybe needs to play pissed off, but they're capable. They got the horses. I've been saying it the whole time. They got the horses. It's going to be Zach Collaros. It's going to be a young defensive backfield, and it's going to be head coach Mike O'Shea pulling the trigger, for better or worse, with some of his in-game decision making questionable in-game decisions that he's made as of late. But you're right. It would be such a huge achievement for Winnipeg to win in Regina. Like, we won't even look beyond that to the Banjo Bowl. We won't even look beyond that to their third meeting of the season, coming up a little bit later. A couple weeks after Winnipeg's bye week in week 18, week 20, October 17th, they're going to play against the Rough Riders in Winnipeg. Second last game of the season.
Well, and it's funny.
If they can get a win in Regina, Schnitzy.
Right, because the next 2 are at home.
Out.
Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing this year. Okay. I know a lot of people are saying the Bombers are out of it to get first place, right? Because Saskatchewan is so far ahead. But the Bombers, in some ways, by winning this game, and a game they had to have to try and get a home playoff game and dare I say, go for first in the West again, They had to win this game, and now they've set themselves up where they don't fully control their own destiny, Darrin, but they do in the sense that they play the Riders, who they're trying to catch 3 times. And
I think they do have the destiny in their own hands.
Well,
like they're 10 games into an 18-game season, right?
Yeah.
6-4. Like the season is pretty much half over. Like they absolutely have their own destiny in their hands. Like we're not talking like there's a month left in the season. There's a lot of football to be played. It's all up to Winnipeg.
Well, and we know football is a game of matchups, right? Like the Riders could look great against every other team, but there just could be something in terms of in the Bombers scheme this year that stymies Trevor Harris and stymies Jamarcus Hardrick and that O-line and those
they need
receivers,
those rookies.
right?
They need Lawson and Allen and Vavel to continue to play at a high level. We'll see.
Absolutely.
You know, likely Demerio Houston is in this week. I don't know.
Do you think he comes in for Lawson? Do you think he comes in for Lawson next game?
I think when he comes in, it will be for Lawson. I was just saying, like, is it likely? I wouldn't say it's likely. It's possible, but that's kind of where I would put that designation right now. Yeah, waiters, you must be following me on Twitter. Dalton Schoen is going to be ready for Labor Day. I would be very surprised if he's not ready to go this week. But yeah, no, you're right, Schnitzy. I think they might have something that can stymie Trevor Harris and that offense. But I also believe that the way Saskatchewan's defense is built, and that as well as the level that they're playing at, their game prep, all of those things, that's the mountain to climb. That's the boundary that they have to break through. That's the challenge. Everybody's scared of Trevor Harris and the MOP talk and all of that. I'm scared of that Riders defense if I was the Bombers.
Yeah, sure. The interesting thing about the Rider defense, and I know you'll get into this more with WALBY'S, so I know we got to do our game balls and all that, but they do give up the second most pass yards on average per game. Now, is that because teams just aren't even bothering to run on them because they're so dominant against the run? Maybe, but there are yards to be had, and this brings me to if I can do my game ball, Darrin.
Absolutely.
Zach Collaros. Okay. Mm-hmm. Last week on the show, we had a bit of a disagreement about Zach Collaros. Disagreements are good. And I think it was a good debate if you want to check it out. I was kind of wondering whether Zach Collaros is declining a little bit. You were defending Zach Collaros. And I thought tonight, Darrin, and I think he's going to have to be the straw that stirs the drink against the Riders because they do give up a lot of pass yards. It's going to be incumbent upon that O-line, of course, to pass block for him. But if Zach Collaros can play at this level next week, where he was 87.1%, that is insane. And I know there was a lot of checkdowns in this game. Montreal either was taking away anything deep or intermediate, or the Bombers receivers weren't getting separation. I get it.
Look at that. But look at that play right there.
Yeah. Great throw by Collaros on the run.
Watch the feet.
Gets outside. Yeah.
Great. And on the run. Dart.
Yeah, gets the edge on the Montreal defensive end. Throws a dart to Demski down the field. That's vintage Zach Collaros. So he can throw it deep. He did have that beautiful throw for 32 yards to Wheatfall. But Collaros was on point. Like, the amount of patience I think it takes for Zach Collaros to take what the defense is giving him, for one. Number two,
great throw.
Finding Brady on those checkdowns, right? Being patient. He climbed the pocket a few times. I think he only missed one check down tonight, Darrin. So being patient, being efficient. He had 120.8 efficiency rating. Anything over 100 is, when you get to 115, 120 even, is elite, right? He was just making great decisions. And just the mental strength to sort of take what that Montreal defense is giving you. Montreal, Nothorpe loves to fool you. He'll give you a look pre-snap and then post-snap. It won't even seem like the same defense. And just Collaros was able to buy time, play off-script plays. He had a bunch of shovel passes. Some of that was divine, but some of it was he was just creating magic, right? And in the second quarter, he had 13 straight completions. I know a lot of it's checkdowns, but that's 13 straight completions. Ends up with 269 yards. Most of that was in the first half. But he did what he had to do.
209 at the half. And I'll just mention for people out there, as we're watching, I just pulled up 3 separate incredibly strong throws from Zach Collaros, both in his pocket presence and delivery of the football. I'll just mention for people, if you ever want to see the stats, either after the game or you want to see the halftime stats, like a couple days, go to the Bonfire WPG Twitter. I always tweet the stats at halftime and post game every single game. Zach Collaros looked really good, man. He looked really good. Yeah. I thought he looked good last week. Tonight, he looked really good. I think something people don't realize in their assessment of Zach Collaros in 2025 is he suffered a neck injury, could have been a concussion, could have been whiplash, whatever, missed some time. You had a suspension week 1, and he has a new offensive coordinator. And the O-line isn't playing at the same level the first 5 years of Collaros' Blue Bombers career. It's a lot of change, a lot of challenge. I'm not saying they're insurmountable challenges. I'm saying it's taken him a little bit of time to settle in. And tonight, when I said the Bombers were playing pissed off tonight, I kind of came up with that watching Collaros. Because early in the game, I'm like, this guy's pissed. He's mad. He does not want to hear it anymore. I don't think he will never blame anybody. The OC, the play calling, the game plan, the O-line, the protection, the run, receiver, nothing. He'll never do that. Nor would ever a good quarterback do that. One worth his weight. Collaros is well worth his weight. I don't think, he was ever pleased with his play, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt considering the circumstances that he's had to play through. I think Zach Collaros is, I said it last week, he's just scratching the surface of what he's capable of this year. I don't think he's on the decline in his career. Not yet.
And when you say he was pissed off, that harkens to some of the articles that came out this week in the papers and Ed Tate, and it seemed like Collaros was pissed off, and he seemed like his body language a little bit pissed off last week. I think he was frustrated with some of the receivers. I don't know if he's frustrated with some of the play calling per se, but I think, and I was going to ask you, was it just seeing him in practice, Darrin? Was it seeing him tonight? Like, what told you maybe Zach was pissed off?
It's his interviews. It's subtle, right? Like, this is my day job. My job is to cover this football team, cover sports in Winnipeg. Yeah. And whether it's Scott Arneal or Mike Taylor with the Sea Bears, or Rick Forney back in the day with the Gold Eyes when I was on that beat, or it's Mike O'Shea, or it's Richie Hall or Jordan Younger, Paul LaPolice back in the day, or Buck, but especially O'Shea, and in this case Collaros, you kind of pick up on their vibe, for lack of a better term. Maybe that is the right term. You pick up on their vibe, and I've seen Zach play at that Canadian Football Hall of Fame level, that MOP level, mounting comebacks, winning championships, being the guy. And I've seen him play at that level and lose. I've seen him play at a poor level and lose or win. I've seen all of that and seen his reaction to it. And frankly, as my, because this is what I do, I study it. So you pick up on the vibe of these guys. And I think the criticism of the system and the run game can't get going, and Collaros, well, he's got, think about it. You don't think Zach Collaros knows he's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns this year? You don't think he knows? He knows. Team's 500. They're meddling. 500-ish. 500 under him because they were 1-0 under Strevler. He's pissed off. You could see it in, how he was addressing questions. You could even see it tonight, like his post game with Matthew Schnitzer, who he is good friends with. Like after the interview, you could see how they kind of sign off. It's like, great seeing you, buddy. When Schnitzer was on the Ticats and he was the quarterback there. But Schnitzer asked such a good question about momentum and going into Labor Day. Collaros just said, I don't know about all that, but I do know that tonight we played well. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But he did say, I don't know about all that. It was a bang on the nose question that's how a pro athlete, that's how a politician even, I don't want to even make that comparison. That's how a pro athlete responds to something that they don't want to address directly. It was a great question by Matthew Schnitzer. So great. Collaros didn't even want to address it. That's the way I saw it. That's my take, obviously. But
interesting.
Collaros is he is a hard on the sleeve dude, and I don't think that comes across as like who he is. Like, people often, maybe I'm wrong, Schnitzy. You can tell me, but when you say a guy wears his heart on his sleeve, it's usually pretty obvious to people how they're feeling in a situation, right? I think Zach Collaros is a guy that wears his heart on his sleeve, and it's not so obvious. And I'm not giving myself credit for reading between the lines here, but I think it's less obvious. And if you watch closely, it's apparent. When he's mad, when he's feeling good, when he's mad, I don't know if there's a better quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
It was awesome. He was awesome tonight.
Well said, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you see him like every day at practice. You interview the guy. You get to know these guys, right? And I think I can pick up on his vibe a little bit when he's mad. He's a little more concise. His speech is a little clipped. His nostrils are a little flared, but I think he is pissed off, and I would just love to see some Zach Collaros revenge on the Riders next game and in the Banjo Bowl, and on October 17th. I just thought he gets one of my game balls, and I just thought he played that Norththorpe Montreal defense is so tough, man. And he made big time throws tonight, and I thought he led the team. My other game ball is, of course, going to have to go to Brady Oliveira. 210 yards from scrimmage. 137 yards rushing, a ridiculous 8.6 average. And folks, that's not because he had like a 90-yard run that skewed the stats. That 8.6 average, folks, is legit. Okay, yes, he had the 128-yard run explosion play. He had 6 carries of 10-plus yards. That is ridiculous.
And they were all like this, 13-yard runs,
Yeah.
And that one, as you mentioned, that one big chunk.
Yeah. I mean, he was full value for that. He came through in the clutch. He gets another touchdown. And that touchdown, that wasn't a walk-in. Like, he had to bully his way in for that touchdown. He had 73 yards receiving. So he was the leading rusher and the leading receiver. He caught a lot of checkdowns today, but he turned them upfield. He made guys miss. Kind of reminded me of Andrew Harris a little bit. He had 3 second down conversions, 72 yards of yak. That is something. And he just was churning. My other game ball, I got to give one to Jason Hogan, Darrin.
Can I just say Stanley Bryant here?
Yeah. Okay?
He's got, he's kind of double. There he is on 𝘎𝙤𝙤𝙧𝙚, 96. And then he picks up number 9. O-line played real well tonight.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Give him one to Hoagie.
So,
first time this season we'll call him Hoagie because, man, he had a nice game.
Hoagie's the hero. I thought he had a great game plan. I think you saw it in the patience that Zach Collaros had, that they knew that maybe Montreal was going to take away the deep stuff, that the Bomber receivers who were injured maybe weren't going to get much separation. So he schemed it, and did it always work? No, there was some zone reads where Zach threw it to the flat and they were blown up, right? There was a couple of second and short that they didn't convert, and one they got sacked on. But overall, I thought he called a really nice game. He spread out the defense. He changed it up. And I guess the biggest hat tip to Jason Hogan is when the game was in the balance, 16-13, and Montreal knew that Brady was going to get the ball fed to him because Stearns and Nick Demski went down there, and the Bombers executed perhaps the biggest drive of their season. To really put their stamp on this game, to go up by 10, 23-13 in a game they absolutely, I'll say it again, they absolutely had to have this game because they were against a vulnerable Montreal team with injuries, a team that was on a 3-game slide, and they just had to have this game going into Labor Day and Banjo Bowl to have any shot at first or second place in the West Division. 6-4 is a lot better than 5-5. They're now 2 games above 500. And the thing is that, like, the thing about this Bombers culture, one of the things that I love about it is it's a growth mindset. And what I mean by that is, and O'Shea is always talking about this, Darrin. He's always talking about the fact that the players and the coaches are always trying to learn. That's why he always says, and it gets cliche, when he talks about a player, he's like, that player loves football. And at first I was like, okay, you love football, big deal. Of course you love football. You're a football player. But I think what he means by that, Darrin, is that the guy is willing to grind. He loves the grind. He loves that extra film study, finding that extra edge. He loves talking to his other coaches. In Hogan's case, it's Jarius Jackson, it's Kevin Burgoyne. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How could I improve? How could I improve my scheme and game plan and call sheet and in-game adjustments? And O'Shea wouldn't have promoted Jason Hogan, the former running backs coach, to offensive coordinator if he wasn't a grinder, if he wasn't a guy who was humble, if he wasn't a guy who was willing to take feedback and to improve and to learn. And kudos to him, because I think he did against an exceptional Montreal defense.
Well said. I like that. Well said. I agree. If you're a first-year coordinator, like Jason Hogan's Canadian, came up through U Sports, Canadian university system. He's never been a pro OC before. He's been an OC at very high levels of football. He's been very successful. But that adjustment isn't easy for anybody. I would say it's just as hard as an American coming up here and like as a coordinator coming up here and being like, oh, well, now you got 12 guys to defend against. You got 12 guys to, run your offense, or run your defense. Like anything, I think it's going to take a little time. Do you remember last year how there was talk about the offensive line, and because there was changes, right? Was it last year or the year before? God, the years are just blending together with this.
Well, last year they had those changes, yeah.
But remember they said like it would take, at the end of the year it was like, oh yeah, it takes 10 games for guys to kind of get together.
Yeah.
Get that gel. Probably the same case with being a rookie play caller, a rookie OC. Jarius Jackson's there. Maybe Jarius Jackson, leaned in a little bit. Schnitzy, was something I mentioned to you when I was over at your place last night. Like, Jason Hogan probably feeling the heat, right?
Yeah.
He was probably feeling the heat. Tonight cooled things off a little bit. Fresh set of pants. I don't know if I think you covered the bases well with your game balls.
Can I just mention one thing I forgot to say, Darrin? This was Brady Oliveira's first 100-yard rushing game of the season. Yep. Which is crazy in game 10 for the MOP. But here's the thing. Is this the start of something, of a run, forgive the pun, for Brady Oliveira? Because
Well,
if they can get that run game going, especially against the Riders, look out.
Jeffrey Townsend, who I'll remind people is kind of the devil's advocate here as a Stampeders fan, always joining us on Game Day After Dark here on Bonfire. It's a veteran team, hired a new OC from within the organization, TF, like the flip, right? But he's in charge now. He's in charge. I'm saying it's going to take him some time to game plan and to then play call. Like there's multiple facets to this, right? You got to put a game plan together of like, okay, what are we going to install for the week of Montreal? What do they do well? What can we do to counter it? That takes time. That's not an easy thing to do. Anyway, yeah. I got no game balls for you. I got no notes. No notes. The Bombers win 26-13. Doubling up the Alouettes tonight. 6-4, as you said a couple times, Schnitzy. Way better than 5-5. Way better.
Yep. Yep. It's a good feeling to be a Bomber fan, and I saw one of the one of the commenters say we were maybe overblowing. Maybe it was Jeffrey Townend, and it's a fair comment. Were we overblowing this win because we beat a beleaguered Montreal team? And I don't think we are, simply because this is a bit of a trap game, and like we've beaten to death here, Darrin, this Montreal defense is legit. And the Bombers, against the second best defense in the league, maybe the best defense they played this year, although Calgary is giving people fits, they had their best offensive game of the season in many ways, in terms of the balance. 425 yards. So I don't think this is just, they beat a struggling Niles team. I think this is full value, and I think it could be a sign of things to come. And if it is, look out, CFL. Look out for the Blue Bombers. And Waiters wants me to do something really weird so he can make another GIF. So what do you want me to do, Waiters?
You say GIF?
GIF? Is it GIF? I thought it was GIF.
Well, the guy who created it says GIF, but like it still just makes my skin crawl. Oof. 2 seats left.
I don't know. Should I put my pen up my nose or something? Well, let's see if I can put my pen up my nose. This is disgusting.
No, don't you do that thing like where you fake it? Oh, goodness. Get that out of your face. Get that out of your face.
There you go, Waiters. Honestly, I would do anything for Waiters.
Buck took over for Lapo. And Sniss says JY took over from Hall. Same thing. Like Buck struggled a little bit that first year.
And then he won the Grey Cup. 2021,
Jordan Younger.
And Zach won the MOP.
Jordan was quick on the uptake. He had a couple rocky games at the start, and then it seemed like they were very good. But they had a lot of changes.
Doesn't he just you know Jordan Younger, of course, from interviewing him, being there at practice, but he just seems like he's so smart. He just gives me that vibe. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously his schemes are great, but he just seems, man, he seems so smart. I'm trying to think of a rhyme here on the way out, Darrin.
All I know, something to do. Better not have me in it. It better just be an ISO on this cat. Okay, that's all I know. Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm trying to think of a rhyme. I think I have one here for our way out here.
Well, to everybody out there, big thanks to you. Live chat was lit tonight. Big Bombers win. And now some time off. For those asking for updates on Jarrett Stearns, Nick Demski, we're not going to get one tomorrow or even the next day. Could very well be Saturday next week. Could be like 8-9 days before we get an update, but they will return to the practice field maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Not entirely sure. But that's when at least we'll have an injury report and have some sort of information on Nick Demski, but do not hold your breath for anything prior to that. But yeah, I mean, Schnitzy, you and I are going to be in Regina. We're going to be on the bus, the Bonfire bus. We got giveaways from the Silver Heights restaurant. Big thanks to Silver Heights. For those who aren't initiated, you want to head over there right in the heart of sunny St. James, just west of Assiniboine Park on Portage Avenue, 2169. You can find them on all of the socials, Silver Heights Restaurant, silverheightsrestaurant.ca. And then, the 1930 crew, we'll get that flying. Walby and I will do a show at some point in the pregame show, but it's always there the day before the game for people. So your drive out to Regina, whoever you are, wherever you are, or out to the lake, and you're going to watch the Labor Day game from the cabin. We got your pregame on Facebook and podcast as well. All of our social medias at Bonfire WPG. And then Schnitzy, you and I will do a post-game show, probably from the beautiful Doubletree in lovely Regina, Saskatchewan, the Queen City, after the Labor Day Classic.
You know what? Regina is actually not bad. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law live there now. They recently moved. They have a beautiful house. It's actually not bad. Wascana Park, the legislature there. It's not bad. Yeah, listen, just yes, obviously. I do want to say, and Tara is on the chat here. She was in on my little piece of content. If you like rewatching games and you're on Twitter, I've started doing these Twitter Spaces rewatch events. So it looks like I'm doing them Tuesday nights. Thanks to Waiters on his YouTube page, Waiters27. Check it out. Subscribe. Give him a thumbs up. Drop some comments. He edits the game, throws it on YouTube, folks. We rewatch the game. We have special guests that join and chat about the game and chat about the Bombers in the season, chat about football. And it's lots of fun. So check it out Tuesdays, 8 o'clock usually. Subscribe to Waiters27 on YouTube. It's a fun time. We had a bunch of guest co-hosts last game and the first game we did. So I'm going to try and do those every week. Tons of fun. You can talk. You can just come and talk live to all the listeners. So it's a great time. So look out for that on Twitter. And Darrin, on the way out, with Brady leading the charge, the Bombers offense flew. Come with us, you two, to Regina with a 1930 crew. Sayonara, everybody.